Good day, CM1, and welcome to Lesson 17. Our theme is still, how often do you do yoga? Can you repeat? How often do you do yoga? Good job. I will play you an introduction video. You have to find the link on LMS and watch it on YouTube. It's about Tom's daily routine. Okay, so find the introduction video and watch it. It's just a few minutes, about 2 minutes. And then I will give you a set of sentences with blanks, and you have to write the full sentence, including the words that are in blank. So I am going to give you 8 questions, and the first sentences, and the first sentence is, it's about Tom, daily routine, right? First sentence is, he, that means that's the blank you need to fill in. He, wake, and please remember we have our words of frequency, how often we have always, usually, never, sometimes, and hardly ever. We have those words, so keep them in mind. Listen to the video and just write down the answer, okay? He wakes up at in the okay? So you watch the video about Tom and you write down the appropriate words and write the full sentence. Number 2, he talks to his colleagues about what? Okay? And then 3, later he goes to different places and just reports the 4, he has time for 5, he comes home before in the okay? So don't worry if you can't keep up now. You're just going to check your homework and your classwork. I'm going to have these written out for you. Number 6. Okay, now I'm going to be asking you about the words that are in the video, okay? In the introduction video. The meaning is also in the video. So I want you to please answer in full sentences, okay? First one, number 6. What does often mean? What does often mean? So you are going to answer in a full sentence. Often means blah, blah, blah. And you fill in your answer, okay? 7. What does always mean? What does always mean? And once again, you're going to answer in a full sentence. Always means, and then you give the definition. 8. What does never mean? What does never mean? And you answer in a full sentence. Never means okay, good job. So once you finish doing those sentences from the video, we will go to our books, our student books, and we're going to go to page 24, which was the previous lesson, and we are going to check the answers for number 1. Okay, we're going to check the answers. Are we checking the answers? Yeah. Just check the answers. Check the answers. Okay, so E, the answer was number 1. E was already given to us, and it was basketball. And then 2, number 2 is H, yoga. 3, number 3 is A, swimming. 4, number 4 is weightlifting. D. 5, number 5 is F, martial arts. 6, number 6 is soccer, and that's B. 7, number 7 is biking, and that's C. and 8. Number 8 is G, and that is running. Okay, let's recap quickly our vocabulary words. So you repeat after me. I am going to phrase it. I'm going to say the word first, and then I'm going to put the word in a question form using how often. Okay, swimming. How often do you go swimming? Soccer. How often do you play soccer? Biking. How often do you go biking? Weightlifting. How often do you do weightlifting? Basketball. How often do you play basketball? Martial arts. How often do you do martial arts? Running. How often do you go running? Yoga. How often do you do yoga? Okay, good job. So remember, we always break down our activities. It's either you go to an activity, or you do an activity, or you play an activity. Okay, so you have to choose the right word, okay, the one that sounds correct. Okay, good job everyone. So now we're going to move on to page 25, which is today's lesson is conversation. Okay, it's conversation. So you're gonna go to number 1. Here on this page we have a conversation. You're going to go to number 1 and you're going to complete the conversation. Okay, so you're going to take the words in the vocabulary box and place them in the conversation. Okay, let's go through the words first. A, yoga. B, tennis. C, swimming. And D, I love it. Okay, good. So you are going to fill in those words, and it's a conversation between Brad and Claire. You can go to the online book and you can listen, and after you fill your answers, check if your answers are correct. If they're not correct, change them and put the right answer. Okay, that's it. Good job. Now, okay, we already went to page 24 and we did verbs of frequency. Okay. Okay, now let's go to number 2. Number 2, you cannot do pair work because you're alone, so you have to work alone. You have to work alone for number 2, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes that you have to fill out. Okay. Now listen carefully. Okay. Remember that all the activities, it's between go, do, or play. Okay. So I'm going to give an example. I'm not going to give you an answer for this, but I'll just give you my own example. Okay, let's say number 1, it's not biking. Let's say it's hiking. So you will write I. So you're going to write the frequency, right? Frequency words. I usually go hiking. Number 2, let's say number 2 is not running, it's yoga. Then you say, I never do yoga, right? And then number 3, then you say, how do you feel about that activity? I said, I really like it. And 4, you're going to have to write about a sport, how often you do that sport. So number 4, I said, I sometimes play volleyball. So you see our book here, you're going to do this part, and then you're going to say, I, blah, 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 biking. So you can use never, always, sometimes, hardly ever. I always go biking. I never go biking. I sometimes go biking. I hardly ever go biking, right? So you can do that for number 1. And then Martial arts, same thing. Do you do martial arts? Do you play martial arts? Or do you go to martial arts, right? And then running, same thing. Always, never, usually, hardly ever, you choose. Weightlifting, same thing. And then here, you add one more for yourself, okay? You add one more activity, okay? We have all these activities here. If you don't know what to choose, you can find an example here and write one of them. And then how do you feel about that activity, okay? So you can say, it's fun, I like it, I enjoy it, whatever. And then you add one more sport. Let's say the sport is tennis. I never play tennis. Finish, okay? So I am going to give you the layout that you have to do for your classwork. Okay, so that's the end of 25, right? And we will turn to the next page, which is page 26, language practice. Do we do language practice? Let me see. Nope. That is the end. Page 25 is the end. And then after that, we're going to go to our workbooks and turn to page 21. Our workbooks, turn to page 21. WB, page 21. And you're going to do number 1, number 2, and number 3 on page 21. Okay, so number 1, you're just going to write the frequency adverbs, okay? So 100% is always. And number 2, see, all of this is shaded. All is shaded, which means it's 100%. 3 is shaded, which means it's 75. 2 is shaded, which means it's 50. 0 is shaded, which means it's, so you know, we use never, always, usually, hardly ever, okay? So you fill in the right frequency adverb, okay? And then number 2, you are going to complete this paragraph, and then you're going to use same adverbs of frequency. Okay, so let's look at the example in number 2. My friends like to exercise a lot, but they like different kinds of exercise and have different routines. Hero always plays basketball after school, and so you can see here, it's always, because all of it is shaded. It's 100%. And then, so you check how many is shaded, and then you choose. If it's 100, it's always. 75, usually. 50, sometimes. 25, hardly ever. 0, shaded, is never. Okay, so you choose. It's very simple. Okay, and then number 3, you write the words in the correct order. So the sentence, the words are not in the correct order. You have to put them in the correct order. I'm just going to give you the first example. Number 1, it says, Sheila, on Saturday, to the gym goes never. So that doesn't make sense. The grammar is wrong. The structure of the grammar is wrong. So you have to fix it. And number 1 is already there for us. The correct wording is Sheila never goes to the gym on Saturday. So we have the next ones. Exercise they every day do. Number 2, you have to change that sentence. Number 3, sometimes go Vincent and Hugo bowling. Change it. 4, tennis plays Nick never after school. Change it. 5, with a friend goes Marcos swimming always. 6, usually go I twice a week running. Change it. 7, does, how often goes she horseback riding. Change it. 8, he yoga ever do does. Change it. Okay, and that is that. Okay, that's the end of lesson 17. Congratulations, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Please check your LMS for your lecture video, and please check your assignment board for your classwork and your homework. Okay, all right, bye-bye.